Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And man, we are giving away 100 XRP if this video can get 1500 likes today. And all you have to do to enter is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. That is it. Having said that, I posted a couple of things on Twitter. I have no regrets, but I also want to take a couple of seconds here to talk to you guys about this specific subject, all right? I think only holding XRP, which is all in, is not the best choice for most people. Having said that, I do think having XRP in your portfolio for crypto is a must. And once more, this is talking about my own portfolio or my opinion about portfolios. This doesn't have to be relevant for you. But I just want to quickly tell a couple of the people who only hold XRP that might not be in your best interest. Even though I personally firmly believe that if, or I should rather say, like a lot of you guys say, when Ripple wins the lawsuit or when this is all fixed, that XRP could do an easy times 10 or 12, logically speaking. It definitely could, in my opinion. Even though that is the case, up to that point, we might still take a couple more months, and it really might be so that some coins will way outperform in the meantime, and that you can like maybe switch over some altcoins at that point for some more XRP. I'm not trying to say this to hurt XRP. I'm not trying to say your portfolio is bad. I'm just spitting the truth here about portfolio management. Now, a little side note is I am thinking, and I've already expressed it a couple of times before, of opening a Patreon for like a couple of dollars maybe, where I just share exactly my portfolio, and maybe we'll figure out a way where we can connect it to Discord so everybody can share their own portfolio and people can just share this stuff with each other. Could be a very cool thing. Just because I think a lot of people that are new to crypto don't know what coins to buy, don't know what to get into. But XRP, in my opinion, is a very, very good hold, mostly on the idea that the profit margin is so ridiculously nice. And if you measure the risk to reward, oh my days, does it look juicy. And think about it. Risk to reward basically means, in this case here, what is the risk you are taking for what amount of reward? In this case here, we are estimating about a 50-50 of XRP going exponential or default. And you might think, Dusty, 50-50 is way too low for the odds of XRP going to the moon. It should be 80% that Ripple will win the case. That might be so, but let's make a bottom line. If we put 50% default risk and 50% moon, where the moon is times, for example, 12, let's put something like that, and the risk of going to about 0, which basically means a couple cents per XRP, could, let's say, for example, be 6 cents or so, which is, let's say, divide by 8, something like that. In the end of things, this is a very profitable bet to make. Think about a casino. If you had a roulette wheel, right, and you had black or red to bet on, let's say there's no green here just for the sake of easiness. If you could bet on black, for example, here with a 50-50 odds, and the payout would be times 12 if you win, or times 0, which basically means loss if you lose, well, you would always take that bet because it's a 50-50 to either win 12 times or lose 0 or lose it all. Your chances of winning are ridiculously good. And if you could make that bet consistently a couple more times, you would end up with a ton of freaking money. And that's basically the thing with XRP. Even if it were to be a 50-50, the amount of money we can make with that really, really far outweighs the loss. That's my opinion about this. That's also why I sometimes go for some riskier projects and crazier stuff. You guys know I talk about GSX sometimes, right? It's not because it's really the most secure project in the world. It's not because I know for certain it's going to make me any money. Definitely not. I'm not quite certain on that at all. But the reason I cover it mostly is because I've assessed my own risk to reward, and I'm thinking, okay, let's say as a baseline, there's a 20% chance they'll succeed. If I have in my head, well, the chance of making times 20 times 50 or so on a coin like this is pretty damn high. If I put that at a 10 to 20% ratio or anything like that, it is still going to be worth it for the risk I'm taking. And again, that's why I go for this type of stuff, because if you do this consistently, and if it all of a sudden turns out to be like a 20% chance to win a jackpot basically, and you go for, let's say, 20 projects, or 10, whatever you want to go for, or 100 then, 20 of them will win, and if you go for 100 projects, 20 of them will win. And in the end, the amount of money that you make will far outweigh the losses that you take because all these coins are gems, right? If they win, which is, again, in our opinion now, about a 20% chance. Might be higher, might be lower. It's just to give you guys an idea of why I like to go for some riskier projects and why I think XRP should be a must, because the risk to reward is so ridiculously good and people don't understand. People only think, well, XRP is a shitcoin, XRP is this, that, this, that. If you really estimate that it's going to lose, do you think it has a more than 50% chance to do so? I personally don't think so. Don't you think also that XRP could literally do times 10, which means to about all-time high, plus, let's say, 30%, which basically goes to about $4.50. If it were to win the lawsuit, I don't think there's really anything holding them back if they win it. So from that perspective, I'm going to say yes. And so 1 + 1, boom, that's what you get. Then Leonidas Hadjiloizu. And I'm going to quickly say, guys, put down below in the comment section if you agree or disagree with me, all right? I want to know, because maybe I'm being completely stupid here. I need to know, so put it down below. And also, go check out my Twitter and go follow me over there. It is definitely going to be worth it. The name on there is ZDustDBZ, the DustDBC. Go follow. Leonidas said, every now and then, I place a ridiculously high sell order just because I can. You never know. I just realized, though, that Bitcoin is currently trading at a price that my ridiculously high sell order from 1 year ago would have been filled had I not canceled it. And that's a fun thing. I remember my videos from a couple of months ago where we were talking about some bullish Bitcoin scenarios. And one of the fun ones we had was, if yada yada happens, Bitcoin can go to 34, at which it will extend to about 48 until it can go to about 64,000, anything like that. Even we had some price targets at 59. It was actually there because it lined up with the Fibonacci. By the way, that was one of the points where a lot of people started to sell their Bitcoin. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Maybe in this video, maybe in the different video. It depends on how much time we have here. There's a couple of these articles that have shown that such sizable wallets, big ones, have sold at least 140,000 Bitcoins worth roughly $7 billion in February when Bitcoin peaked. So about $59,000 is a very important point. But we really had those predictions, those ideas, but it wasn't really that we thought that this was surely going to happen soon. It was most likely like if we do this, then that. Basically consequence after consequence. But all of a sudden, boom, we're at about almost $60,000 per Bitcoin and we're still going freaking strong. All right. Luckily on the channel here, we had a very, very good bet on where the bottom was going to be. I also have that little chart on Prime XBT. Let me quickly see if I can open it on the side here. I sometimes show it in my videos here, the chart, which I like to stand by when talking about Bitcoin and its movements basically over the last couple of, I don't know how long it is. Let's quickly see. I'm going to open it up here. Let me quickly show you guys. This is the one. Basically Bitcoin's price movement all the way from about halfway through December. The way it's going is all following a pattern. It's always that way. Bitcoin follows patterns. I still do not yet know if the news actually matters or if it's all in the numbers, but what we do know though is that trading Bitcoin right now is pretty simple as long as you've been here for a little while and you know how it works. Don't think about it too difficultly or in a too difficult of a manner, but Bitcoin is going to go to this all-time high once more and breach through. All right, it was going to make another dip. It was all logical. But eventually, we either, I mean, I've explained too many times, right? We are going to go higher and higher and higher eventually. It's all a matter of time, yes, but we are going there. There's almost no question in my mind anymore. Then, by the way, go follow 5 Minute Crypto. I also encourage you to do that because I'm sometimes thinking, what if this channel ever gets deleted, right? I got to have a backup and 5 Minute Crypto is going to be my key. So if you are enjoying the content here and, also go subscribe there, mostly because these updates have no advertisements on them, no sponsorship, no advertisement, no nothing. And they're just 5 minutes long with good updates. But also, if this channel ever goes away, then you have that as a backup. And then we had an article here, SEC v. Ripple could make waves in the crypto market. I've explained before why this is the most important lawsuit ever, yet this quote here specifically shows why that is the case. Ripple could be a seminal case in the cryptocurrency arena and an opportunity to set forth clear, objective standards which could hopefully be followed by well-intentioned crypto network developers. If that happens, Ripple could make waves in the digital asset space. Think about it. If Ripple wins this case, Ethereum is not going to be sued anymore, right? Which I still think will come if Ripple loses. And a lot of these other crypto projects like Flare and so are fine then. If they lose, however, oh my days, will it be a crypto crackdown? There's going to be so many lawsuits and oh my days, will it be crazy? But that also shows that the SEC is not necessarily corrupt. I don't want to say that word specifically, but is not acting in the best interest of the investor, which they have vowed to protect. Then Lord Vendetta posted, the case is closed. Quote, you could use blockchain, this is from Gary Gensler, but you need a bridge currency in between, and that bridge could be a stable value that's backed by US dollar or the euro, or it could be a currency like Ripple has as an alternative. In the end, guys, I still don't know why this guy is going back and forth between his opinions about XRP. He sometimes says positive things, he sometimes says negative things. I don't really know why, but he's known about this for a very long while, and at least we know that he has been here, all right? He's been here for a little while. Let's move on. XRP Crypto Wolf says, good morning to everyone except the SEC for saying they were not required to issue warnings to Ripple about violations with XRP. That's definitely an interesting point, which the SEC has now brought up in their case, saying, hey, we didn't have to do that, so that's a weak defense. Ripple just says, in case you missed, we're piloting a new private version of the public open source XRP ledger. Learn how this private ledger provides central banks a secure, controlled, and flexible solution to create and manage digital currencies. I actually think this was an advertised post. They do it through Sprout Social, but I also believe because they sometimes repeat their articles when they want to do some ads, that they're trying to spread this around the world, right? So it's, in my opinion, also a little bit interesting. Maybe there's a little bit of a contrast. Maybe they don't do every post through Sprout. This one, for example, is done through the Twitter web app. Maybe it is so that every time, oh no, this is not from them, that every time they do it through Sprout is when they also put some ads on those things. I'm not quite sure. Because Brett Garlinghouse does it through Twitter web app, but sometimes also through a different one. I'm not sure what the name anymore for it is. I use it myself, yet I forgot the freaking name. Sometimes you get that. Or maybe they can just not do these types of polls via the Sprout. That could also be the case. Because most of them seem to be going there. So I'm not too sure about that. But it could also be, or have to do something with the ads, as they do a lot of ads. Still do a lot of ads, by the way. I still see some people quote, hey, just saw a Ripple ad come by. Yet, it kind of looks like they do almost everything through... no, you can see, this is the first time they tweeted it out. This is through the Twitter web app. And most of these are all just replications of something they have shown before. Maybe I'm looking for something that's not there, though. That could definitely be the case, all right? Don't quote me on any of this stuff. I'm just saying it's interesting. See, this is also... If it's new, this document was just published then, it's through the Twitter web app, and if it's through Sprout, they advertise it. Maybe it's exactly the opposite, could also be. I'm not sure. I just thought it was interesting. Then, I had this little video here from Digital Asset Investor, and it was from SEZ v. Ripple, response to the amended complaint by Greg Kidd. Now, I actually want to keep this one around and talk to you guys about this one a little bit later. I've actually listened to it, but I kind of want to gather some more info. Why? Well, I think we can, I can actually listen. I can show you guys this right now. I can. But I wanted to say I need some more information to really get my mind across what I really think about the whole new lawsuit response. But let me just show you guys this little 2-minute clip. I don't think it's going to hurt. Let me quickly put the sound on. I have to do this through the phone, remember? It's very cumbersome, but it's the way that things go. Let me put this thing on, this thing off. There we go.
Ripple's latest response to the amended complaint from the SEC, right? And they used an analogy that I've been putting out there, which is that essentially what the SEC has said is that is people can't tell the difference between gold and the gold mine. Yeah, gold and gold. But they used an even further analogy. I said, look, if I give a partner a diamond ring to get engaged for us to get married, it doesn't mean that he or she goes to the newspaper and starts reading about the De Beers Diamond Company because I gave them a diamond ring.
For sure. It doesn't happen with my wife. I gave her some diamond, but then she's got no interest in holding shares of De Beers Company, which is the mining company.
If it comes kind of down to an issue that's been a political issue, is your general view that people are, I hate to say, are people... I don't want to use the word stupid, but can people not be responsible for themselves of understanding risk? We obviously let them go into a casino. We let them buy lottery tickets. They can buy, they're going to be able to buy all these non-fungible tokens. But we're saying that in this particular case, that the SEC doesn't think that people can tell the difference between XRP and the Ripple company. And that when they are buying XRP, I mean, the case treats me as a victim because I bought or negotiated for a lot of XRP. I also have Ripple stock. And essentially what they're saying is that I don't know the difference. And I find that really annoyingly dismissive of people's ability to have common sense. And so the general narrative there is that people can't tell the difference between XRP and Ripple.
Okay, so there's a couple points that are important here. One, straight off the bat, is SEC in a lot of their documents always states that a person of reasonable, I think the words they use, I'm not sure on that one, don't quote me, reasonable intelligence or average intelligence, something along those lines. I already a couple of times said it's a little bit strange. Intelligence should be able to know what the whole situation is. Then a second part, which is interesting, is so I'm not sure exactly why he said specifically that he negotiated for XRP. What does that mean? I'm not sure. All right, I don't know, but he said that. What does that mean? Does that mean he negotiated some from within Ripple to other parties, or does that mean he negotiated for his own purchase of XRP? He negotiated for that one, or does he just mean he used some order books and then he was like, should I buy now? Should I wait now? What do I do? I'm not sure about that one because that's a little bit strange. Unless he had XRP from the inception, which means he might have negotiated with Ripple to get some, basically, at the start of it all. But if he's referring to a little bit later, then that is odd. Again, I'm just kind of attacking his point here because everything he said is the truth. The SEC is basically assuming here that people don't know the difference between Ripple as a company and XRP the crypto. Now, Ripple is, of course, responsible for a little bit of this by, for example, not making it clear that XRP is different than Ripple. At the start of things, when they, for example, called XRP Ripples back in the day, and XRP still stands for X, which means no specific country, RP for Ripple. Okay, you might debate that, saying, oh, that's not the truth. I do believe so, right? Same thing where XBT is X, which means no country, Bitcoin. That's the way they also went for XRP, X Ripple. But, there's multiple ways to view this. In my opinion, is just that the SEC is just trying to fetch something. They're trying to just, with a little claw, they're like, let's try, reach for something, let's try for something, go something crazy. But they don't deserve it. They shouldn't be getting it, yet they're trying. And Greg Kidd is right. It's like they're acting like as if these guys are stupid. Yet, why? I still do not know why, though. Like, why is this all happening? Why are they making it so difficult? Why is this all pulling through right now? It's still going through my mind, and I don't get it. I don't get the whole lawsuit from the core on for it. Ripple making an investment contract. If we all do not know Ripple as a person, or as an entity, I should actually say, how does that work? Nobody, right? We're talking maybe, let's say, 100 entities in comparison to the millions of people who hold XRP. Nobody, literally, but freaking XRP through Ripple directly. Then how could it be an investment contract? If a lot of us have never spoken or never heard any internals from Ripple before, how does that work? All right, but then Anthony Scaramucci says, I'm only focused on Bitcoin, the big dog. That's a little fun quote here. There were a couple of people who came up to me recently and said, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're not officially part of crypto. And I want to know from you guys what you think about that. I personally think you're not as part of the big movement, because Bitcoin is basically the start of it all, but you're definitely part of crypto, and all these other currencies like XRP, like Polkadot, like Cardano, have as much to say in the crypto space as Bitcoin does, as it's all about, in the end of things, making a profit, making a good choice of what currency is going to be mainly adopted, and what is the future. And there's definitely a couple of reasons as to why you could say that Bitcoin doesn't have that longevity which some of these other coins do have. Then 100K Bitcoin option set to expire. Here's what to expect from the market. This type of stuff is what I'll be covering on 5 Minute Crypto. So if you're interested in articles like that or talks like that, I cover it here. Go check it out. Go subscribe to it. It is going to be worth it. Little small update like I also do on 5 Minute Crypto. Polygon, which is Matic, Scale, and SushiSwap have all been listed on Coinbase Pro. Those coins went crazy just because of it, logically. And again, most recently, we've also added support for some other coins, which we already talked about a little bit earlier. And then another important one is just bought 6 NFT domains is what somebody said. Well, if you want yourself some NFT domains too, go check out Unstoppable Domains. Right now, they have some crazy, crazy expensive ones. I'm not saying you should get one of those, not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say check it out because these are really popular NFTs, and I think there's a lot of possibility with the cheaper ones, right? Once more, I don't even have one of these expensive ones because, well, you got to kind of think in your own box here. I know, for example, one that let's see, a flights.crypto, for example, will most likely make you a lot of money if you buy right now, but it might take a little bit of time, right? It might take a couple of weeks, couple of months before you can sell it. Maybe you need the $100,000, you cannot buy something like that. I'm just talking more so about things like, I don't know, investment banker.crypto, this type of stuff, right? I think this type of stuff could still right now turn into a profit. Theoretically speaking, I should then buy it myself, but I already have 24. I'm thinking I'm good already in the NFT department. Maybe I should get more though. I don't know. If you see this domain gone, I most likely bought it because I changed my mind. Because I'm thinking, well, maybe this eventually is going to sell. Maybe I can use it in some way, shape, or form, right? I also had a couple of other domains here in my cart, like XRP community and XRP this, XRP that. Because I'm thinking, hey, maybe this eventually can sell. Maybe eventually I can use this because there's no renewal fees. There's no this, there's no that. It's just easy. It's just nice to have. That's, again, my opinion on it. Go check it out. A link will be down below. And that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. And see you guys again in another one.